I woke up this morning not knowing, not having a clue what I wanted to talk about on this week's segment. Then I went and got my workout in the gymnasium and saw a post on a health and fitness Facebook group that I frequent from time to time, and answer questions too, just to help people out. There's some real young health and fitness coaches in there still learning the industry, and I try to help them essentially through what I've learned from the mistakes I've made. And there was one question in particular where a young coach posed the question of, why am I struggling so much to get people to work with me? I discount my prices, I do this, I do that. So why am I having so much trouble? So I wrote back to her and said, well, there's a couple things here. Number one, don't discount your prices. Becoming known as the cheap coach is the kiss of death in the health and fitness industry, because you attract other people who are cheap, who are just looking for inexpensive. You don't want to attract those kinds of people because they're the ones that aren't going to put in the time and effort to really get the results they're looking for. And in turn, they're going to blame you for why they haven't. The other aspect of it is that she asked the people in that Facebook group, myself included, if you know anyone who needs X, Y, and Z done for them, send them my way. And my response to that was, you're asking me to marry you before you even ask me out on that all-important first date. And what I mean by that is that you have to give people the opportunity to know, like, and trust you before you have the opportunity and the right to sell them on the services that you provide, to showcase what you provide in hopes of them wanting to work with you so you can help them solve their problems and achieve their goals. So I wrote that back to that particular coach, and I had the blowback from another coach, not this one, but from another coach, calling me gross, calling me sleazy, I mean, every name in the book, because I used the word sell. And then I wrote back saying, and to be honest with you, it really shouldn't have bothered me as much as it did, but I don't think it bothered me because of the words this particular coach chose to use, but more so because of what I'm about to share with you. We all know about the segment of the population that we all don't like in the health and fitness industry, and that's those so-called social media influencers who create what they call revolutionary programs and services that are going to help you lose weight, and a ton of weight, in a very short period of time, and you're not going to have to do anything but take this pill or do this for 5 minutes a day. But there's another segment of the population that, to be honest, I feel bad for, and it really does anger me in a way, because especially after reading what this person wrote, because there's so many health and fitness coaches, young ones especially, who are so fixated on how passionate they are. It's 100% balls to the wall passion and nothing about the business, nothing about running and operating it as a business. And I have a problem with that, because we're in the service business. Our job is to serve the people we work with, our clients, and by helping them solve their problems, by helping them feel better about themselves, to help them reach the goals that are going to help improve their life. That's the service aspect of the service business. But there's also a business aspect to it as well. Without that business, we can't help people. If I did everything for free, if I treated this as a hobby, if I got paid in smiles, I'd be able to help a few people, but at some point in time, I wouldn't be able to pay the bills. I wouldn't be able to put food on the table for my family, put clothes on their back, keep a roof over their heads. I wouldn't be able to do any of those things. I've seen too many well-meaning, knowledgeable, and hardworking health and fitness coaches leave the industry entirely and go get a 9-to-5 full-time job that they absolutely despise, that has nothing to do with health and fitness, because they've treated this as purely a passion project, as opposed to being passionate about building this business that helps people solve their problems, reach their goals, and develop a better lifestyle. You can't have one without the other. It just doesn't work. So when I say service business, both words are equally important to the overall game plan. Like I said, if I don't get paid for my services, then I can't pay the bills for that business or for my family, which means I have to close up shop and not be able to help more people. That's a lesson that I've had to learn. That's a lesson that I have had to learn over these last few years. Because in the beginning, it was tough. And I still had to maintain a traditional full-time job. Granted, it was in the health and fitness industry, thankfully. But even before that, when I first got my certification, I was still working full-time in the newspaper industry. And I wasn't loving doing it at the time, I can tell you that. When there's coaches out there who think only about the passion side of things, they don't think about that I have to operate this as a business. I have to earn a living. I have to bring in revenue. I have to pay the bills to keep the business open so I can help more people. So I wanted to share that with you today. And I wanted to kind of take a little break in the action from the episodes that I've been doing up to this point, because it's important for people to understand this could apply to any industry. I'm in different networking groups with painting companies and real estate agents and construction companies and mortgage brokers and insurance brokers, all of that. And it all applies to them. We're all in the service business. We're all here to help people. But if we don't have a business, we can't help people. It's that simple. I don't understand why there's health and fitness coaches out there who feel the need to act holier than thou when anybody brings up the word sell or revenue or business, because that's part of what we do. And until I learned that lesson, my business struggled. I struggled. I didn't get into it full time as soon as I would have liked for this reason. I simply couldn't afford it because I wasn't treating it like I needed to. My passion and my business. Once they started going hand in hand, that allowed me the opportunity to help more people and work with more people. And that's ultimately what I'm passionate about. And if it means that I have to sell, if it means that I have to have people pay me a good pay to help them, then I'm going to continue doing that. Because it's important to me to make sure I can help as many people as possible and make as big an impact in this world as I can.